Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. Today I'm going to be doing a very different video. Well, not very different, but kind of different. Today is going to be my top 5 items on my bookshelf. And they're going to be like gift items or items I found over the years. Actually, I don't think any of them are found items. If you want to see like gifts or like top 5 items I've bought myself that I adore on my shelf, I can do that. But I'm going to do my top 5 gift items. So it's actually going to be a top 6, but shh, it's okay. It's my top 5. I can do what I want. So the first one is this. This is oh boy. This is a picture that my cousin Helen drew, and she is now 13, and I'm so proud of her, but her art is just fantastic, and it's getting so good. Like, I'm really proud of her for all of her work. She did this when she was about, I want to say 11 or 12, so it's been a year or so, and her art has absolutely improved since then even more. She drew this because I asked her for a Sleeping Beauty picture, and this is the Elena Fanning from Maleficent version, so I'm very proud of her for that. The next item is this. This is a small, she's very well worn and loved. This is a small doll. She sits on the top of my shelf, the very top, with all of my green and gold books. She is, I think she was like from an Anna Green Gables phase or something like that. She was a gift from my youngest sister on my, I want to say 7th or 8th birthday. We had a little shop in our town that sold really cheap porcelain dolls, and we always loved getting them for each other, and this one is the one that's lasted the longest and stayed with me the longest, and I love her. I love her greatly. And next we have this. For those of you who I've really struggled with reading all of my life, but my all-time favorite thing to read as a child was the American Girl dolls books, and my older cousin, she had a Kirsten, and Kirsten is missing a shoe. And Kirsten was her doll, and I used to go over to my cousin's house all the time, and I would talk about how much I loved Kirsten, and I'd walk around holding Kirsten and all these other things. And I think when she hit about 13 or 14, she stopped wanting her American Girl doll, and so she gave her to me. And she's got her doll hospital bandage on because she's gone to the doll hospital a few times for loss of limb and that kind of thing. Her hair really is not ever not matted, but that's okay. She has been with me since I was about 7 or 8 as well, and she was my toy that I slept with for the longest time. I don't know why I stopped sleeping with her, but she now lives on my bookcase, and she's my favorite hand-me-down I ever received. And then we have, you guys know Spoiler Mouse, but Spoiler Mouse is actually just a little mouse puppet that lives in a little a teapot. So he is a dormouse. And I received this last year for Christmas. My mom just found a mouse puppet and put it in an old teapot that she found at a Goodwill, and it's become one of my all-time favorite pieces on my bookshelf. I love him. Spoiler Mouse is my favorite. I absolutely adore him. I'm always afraid that I'm gonna break something. I don't know what, but I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. You go back to your space, Spoiler Mouse. Thank you. And then we have this. I don't know if she'll work. So this little music box plays Gigi, and actually there's a book for Gigi, and I've always wanted it, and I haven't been able to find it here in the States. Gigi was one of my all-time favorite musicals as a child because it was the one that my Grammy loved the most. And when my grandparents passed away, my grandmother specifically, this is the only item I asked for. And it's been a great comfort for me over the years. This was always one of my favorite things. I would go to it immediately when I would get to my grandmother's house. My sister would go for the candy box, which she has now, and I would go for this as soon as we walked in the door. And I'd wind her up, and I'd just sit there for like an hour and listen to this music. And it's funny because, believe me or not, this is one of the things that I do when I'm having an anxiety attack, is I'll twist this up and play it. But 95% of the time it doesn't work unless I'm having an anxiety attack. So Grammy, I really like to think that Grammy only lets her work for me in times of dire need, and otherwise she's letting me know I can handle it on my own. But she did work for you, and I'm very glad of that. Thank you, Grammy. So yes, for those of you who don't know the musical Gigi, I love it. It's one of my favorites. Absolutely one of my favorites. And yeah, I would love to get that book. The book of Gigi, but I haven't been able to find it in the States. Anyway, side note. This is my final favorite and a bonus. This was a gift. The frame was a gift for me when I was about, I want to say 10 or 11. And it was from a friend of mine. Well, she was a friend at the time. We'd known each other since we were 3. We'd been in playgroup together. We weren't friends by the end of our school years, but I wasn't cool, so it's fine. But she gave me this little picture frame with a fairy in it. But the reason that I love this is my daddy in high school, and this is my daddy with me. Isn't he a total dweeb? I love this picture of my dad. I do, and I love my mummy. I love her very much, but I'm a total daddy's girl, and I love this picture of him and me together because he was so happy when I was finally born. Oh, you can see me in there. Sorry. So yeah. That's my other item that I love. I had it in the background for a while, but I got a couple complaints that there was too much happening in the background, which totally understandable. But yes, those are my top 5 items from gifts from different people on my bookshelves. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!